Hi guys, good morning and welcome to my knitting podcast. My name is Mandy and this is my channel where I come to talk to you about knitting and crochet and all of the yarny goodness that I've gotten onto throughout the week. I am a 39-year-old woman from southeastern Michigan and I live here with my 2 kids and my husband, and I love to crochet and knit and I love yarn in general. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, please stick around. I am going to be talking about all sorts of things this episode, but it's going to be kind of a bite-sized one. We are super busy this week, so I have a couple of giveaways to announce, so I wanted to get those announced. But I also have to be mindful of the time, so a kind of short episode this week. So let's see. First, I'm going to talk about admin. So for admin, every week I give away a pattern, and this week is no different. The rules are that just in order to enter, just leave a comment down below. The pattern that you pick must be below $15, and you can only win once a month. So I just want to make it kind of fair for everybody. So if I draw your name more than once a month, I'm going to draw somebody else. I figured that would kind of be a way to make it even and fair for everybody. So I have the pattern giveaway to announce, but I'm going to do that last because I have 2 other prizes. And I'm sorry for the crinkling. I have this. This is mini skeins, and I've got to fix the package because it keeps messing up. But here we are. This is Fiber Optic Yarns. And this is a rainbow mini skein. And I will straighten that up before I ship it, but just in case it comes like that, it will be okay. And then the other prize are these 3 skeins. So these are from Arkansas Yarn Co. and they're super pretty. But because I do not draw until Sunday afternoon, which, by the way, if you're new here and you want to enter the pattern giveaway, please enter Eastern time, just sometime before, I would say 3. No, 3 is probably going to be too late. I would say noon on Sunday Eastern time. So whatever that equates to. Just because that's usually when I draw for the next episode. I have to film in advance just because of all of the editing, and I need some time to just be able to do that. Anyways, so I don't know what one I'm giving away first because I basically said to put your preference in the comments, so I'm going to leave a space right here. That was the first prize. This is the second prize. Okay, so those are for the 2 physical products, okay? Like I said, today's gonna be scatterbrained. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, and now for the not Ravelry pattern, the knitting or crochet pattern. You can message me on Ravelry. You can message me on Instagram. On both of those, I am Mandy Von Knits, and this is for the pattern. Okay, now if I drew your name, if I drew it for the physical products, please get in contact with me either on Ravelry or Instagram and send me your mailing address so that I can get those shipped out to you. And if I drew your name for the pattern, please contact me on Ravelry or Instagram and let me know what pattern you pick and I will gift it to you. Okay. That's all for admin. And it seems like a lot more than it was, but okay. So this week I have worked on finishing my Kylie pullover, and that is actually what I am wearing, and I'm a really big fan of it. I made the sleeves like the perfect length, I think, because they do not come in at the ribbing, right? So I wanted to make them shorter so that it does not bother me too much, especially when I'm washing my hands, because this would, if this were like right there, it would drive me up the wall. But I'm glad that they're short enough that it's not going to bother me. I used, oh no, why? It's I'm putting it up here. It's a yarn that I got from Knit Crate. I think it's URO, and it's Glimmer. It is 90% merino and then 10% stellina. So if you can see, there are sparkles all throughout there. And this is a pattern by Irene Lynn Designs. And I don't believe I've I don't believe I've ever done one of their patterns before, but I really did like this one. It seems like every time I do cables, I realize how much I like them and miss them, and then I kind of forget for a while. But some of the modifications that I made on this were that I carried on the cables into the ribbing for the bottom, and I did a longer rib for the neck than the pattern called for. I really didn't want any rolling, so I think at the end of the day I used 11 rounds of ribbing on everything. So the neck, the cuffs, and then the hem all have 11 rounds. But I really did like it. I took a break on this for a little bit. I started it quite a bit ago, but I took a break on it to finish a test knit and to work on a test knit. So I figured that took higher precedence, and I was right, because I definitely needed the extra time, because for my test knit, I ended up making 2 of them. So I actually brought my test knit out because I want to show you something. So I wore this on last podcast, and I kept kind of grabbing at the neck because I felt like it was pulling down. So I put some elastic in it. So now I shouldn't be stretching it more, but now it's not going to be pulling as much, and I like the way that looks a little bit better. The yarn that I used for this particular, and this is actually the Willow Pullover. It's a test knit by Andrea Gaughan. The yarn that I used is very high cotton. It's got a very high ratio of cotton. It has alpaca in it, and like a teeny, I think like 6% wool. So it makes perfect sense to need something to stabilize the neck there. If I ever make this one again, I think I will make it in a merino nylon DK sock weight, or not sock weight. That's a lot of words altogether that I kind of mushed up. A merino DK sock yarn, but not sock weight, like the base that people use to make DK socks. There we go. Okay, so I finished this. I don't think I had that much to do on this. I think I just had to weave in the ends, and that was it. But I also finished this one. Now no, I didn't. Oh my gosh, really? No. Oh. How did I miss that? I've woven every other single one except that little piece. Okay, we're going to pretend it's not there for right now. So this is the Hipster top by Joji Locatelli. And I really loved working on this. I changed up the bottom. I'm trying to think of the best way to show this to you here. So instead of doing standard ribbing, I did some of the same stuff that is some of the same stitch that is up here down at the bottom. But I only did one set of those. I thought that 2 would be too thick, but I do like it. And I still think 2 would be too thick. I think that that came out a good, kind of a good size right there. But like I said, this is the Hipster top by Joji Locatelli, and it did not take a long time to finish. This is knit in fiber optics yarn. They have a cashmere base, and it is pretty standard for MCN. It's, I can't remember what it is. I think it's 80-10-10. That sounds right. It's right in front of me. It is, yeah, it's 80 superwash merino wool, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. It's the same base as the Rainbow Prize, but it's so soft and silky. I did like knitting with it, and I love these colors. I used lavender. No, why do I keep calling it lavender? I used violet, ultraviolet, and electric purple. So you can kind of see the very muted stripes down there. But that was another top that I finished. Almost finished. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. So last week I talked to you about how I was going to be going to a water park, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty close to what it is. And it's a long car drive, and I don't want to bring anything too extensive, so I cast on another Musselburgh. And I did something kind of different here. So let me show you this. This is the yarn, one of the yarn skeins that my aunt sent me for my birthday. This is Lyrical Fibers in the color Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Now, I looked and I found this. This is junk yarn, and I think it is Rewind. Yeah, it's Rewind Barbie. So and I just thought that they went well together. So this is what I did. Something very, I wonder if I can show. Okay, so I cast on a Musselburgh, and I knit, and then I started transitioning to the Rewind Barbie. And the interesting thing is that I actually used a pattern for this transition. So there is a hat called the Quick Ombré hat, and I will link it. And it is in, I think, worsted weight yarn, but it has this basically charts for a color transition to basically fade one color into another color. And I love this hat pattern. I've used it many times for many different yarn weights, but I thought that it would be kind of fun to do that for a Musselburgh. Something different instead of just like a clean cut from one color to the other. So I think that my math is kind of off and I'm a little bit off center, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I was thinking that if I did it this way and did half and half, I would be able to get either another hat or a pair of mitts out of the yarn. So this is the only other thing I've been working on this week. That sounds terrible, right? Not really. I'm like this close to starting my voyage by Woolen Pine, but I can't do that until we get back from the water park. And then I have one more project I'm going to start. It's the Kiviot project, the lacy cowl, and I just need to get back from the water park to do that because it's lace and I also don't want to bring it there. I'm scared I'll lose it. If you guys weren't around last time we went, I ended up almost losing one of the skeins that I got for my hipster top right here. So one of these skeins, we ended up finding it, but I definitely don't want to bring any yarn that would be very bad to lose. So that's why the Kiviot's not coming with me. But I love this hat. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, let me see. I'm trying to think of anything else I need to close out with. I'm sorry that this is going to be a short episode, but like I said, we have family visiting and we're getting ready to like leave for a small vacation, so there's not a lot of time. I wanted to draw the giveaway winners though. So if I did draw your name, just get in contact with me. So this is the weekend of the 18th. So if you get in contact with me this upcoming week, we will probably ship out your packages next weekend and then I will send you your tracking number. So congratulations to the winners, and sorry that this is so short. I will see you guys next week and I hope that you guys have an awesome week. Thank you. Bye.